Hi lovely people, welcome back to my channel. So in today's recipe, which is the koose recipe, you're going to need some soaked overnight unskin washed beans. Okay, you can get this unskinned beans from your African shop. This is a Nigerian brand and it's already been skinned. You don't have to skin it. So all I did was I soaked this overnight and this is what I got. So next you're gonna need some grounded fish. I've got here some dry catfish that which has been grounded with my blender. So I've got like a tablespoon of full of grounded fish. Then next you're going to need onions. I've got here a half chopped onion, medium sized half chopped onions. And then next you will need some fresh pepper or chili. I've got here one Scotch bonnet. You can use any type of chili you prefer. So these are all the ingredients I have, and you will need about 1 cup of water. Okay. Hi guys, so the next thing we're going to do here is we're going to pour all our ingredients in one blender and we're going to blend it all together. Okay, it is so easy. I feel like anybody can do koose if you have the right measurement. Anybody can do it. So here I'm just pouring up my my washed out beans. Make sure you wash the beans properly. I had to wash this a few times just to make sure that I've got all the smell, because usually when you leave it overnight it has this smell. So I literally like to rewash it about 5 to 6 times just to make sure that I've got it all cleaned. Okay. So next I'm just going to add my blended fish. You can tell that my fish isn't smoothly blended. That's because I like to have a little bit of, fish chunks in there just to taste it. I prefer using dried catfish because I feel like catfish has a really nice taste compared to other fish. So this is why I prefer using dried catfish. Okay. So then I'm going to add my onions. With the onions, I think I only use, like I said previously, I used half an onion, half medium-sized onions, okay, and I chopped it up, you know, in big chunks. And I'm gonna add my chili, my Scotch bonnet. You can add as much or little, Scotch bonnet if you want. It depends on you. I don't like it too spicy, so one should do for me. So next I'm gonna add a little bit of water. I've got a cup of water, but I didn't add everything. I used about half of the water just to help it blend, and then I would, add the rest when I feel like I need to add more water. So I'm going to blend all these ingredients until it is smooth, until it is well combined, and then I'm going to transfer this into my glass mixing bowl. So here we are. My mixture has been well blended. It's been well mixed and I've transferred it into my glass bowl. I'm just going to add a bit of water in there because I feel like it's a bit too thick, and I'm gonna mix this using my wooden spoon. So I'm gonna keep mixing this. I'm gonna keep mixing it to create some air bubbles. This will help it float in when I'm deep frying it later on. So you can tell I'm mixing and I keep trying to mix. I do this for about 5 to 10 minutes. So on the side I've got some sliced onions. This is optional. This is totally optional. But I like to add a little bit of onions in there just to, create a bit of, crunch or a bit of texture in my mixture. Okay, so and with the onions I've got a bit of red onions and a bit of white onions, but you can totally use any type of onions of your choice. And I'm gonna add a bit of salt here. Well, I'm measuring. Usually I don't measure, guys. Usually I just eyeball it, but I'm using about a teaspoon of salt. Put it aside, and I'm gonna mix this all together until it's well combined. And don't be afraid to taste your mixture, guys. There's nothing wrong if you taste it. I usually like to taste it for taste, just to make sure that I've got enough salt in there. Okay. So after mixing and creating a little bit of air bubbles, I put the mixture on the side, and here I've got my oil for deep frying. I've got enough oil in there. Sometimes I try not to use um, a big saucepan because I don't want to use too much oil or waste the oil. So I use a small saucepan and I pour enough, oil in there just to help deep fry. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do here is to add some onions, slice of onions in my oil, just to help me know whether the oil is hot enough, to start frying my koose mixture. So I leave it in there until it starts sizzling, until it starts frying, and then when I see that the onion is floating at the top, that's when I know that the oil is hot and ready. So the oil is ready. I've already put in, a batch in there, and it's frying beautifully. My koose is floating at the top, and that's what I like to see. That's a good sign. Okay, so I'm using a ladle actually to to section my koose mixture and to pour it into the hot oil. But you can tell that I tried to put it in it slowly just to help it, just to prevent it from sticking at the bottom of the saucepan. Okay. As you can see, guys, you can tell that I'm using a wooden stick to help turn the koose around to make sure that it's evenly cooked. I feel like it's so easy to use rather than using a ladle, because I feel like using a ladle will create even more mess and just, separate the koose into two. So the wooden spoon is easy to use and you can control, the koose from turning either side, okay? So you want to fry this until the koose is of that color, like a light or like a light brown color. That's how you know that your koose is ready. So all I do is I just poke the wooden stick into it and I just take it out, and that's it, guys. So I'm just gonna let the remaining ones to cook, and like I said, you keep turning it with the wooden stick just to make sure that it's evenly cooked. All right. So I keep repeating this until I have fried up all my koose mixture. Okay, I like this recipe. I like this koose because it is very easy to do. My mom calls this koose the fermented koose because you have to soak, your beans overnight. Okay, it goes through a fermentation process before you blend and fry it. From where I come from, with those of you who don't know, I'm a Northerner. I come from the Upper West region. So in the Upper West, what we do is we use the dry beans flour method, and with that one, it is I find it a bit difficult to do because you have to, obviously wet your beans, turn it into like a dough form, but then you have to knead it for like an hour, or is it 30 minutes until it's ready. I think the main reason for kneading the dough is to, or not kneading, I think beating it. You have to beat the dough. Okay, I think the main reason to do for beating the dough is to create air bubbles to help it, you know, to help it float in the oil. So as you can see, my kosa is nice and soft, and then you can see, the slice of onions in there. It was, my kitchen smelled amazing. Okay, when I was making this recipe, I made this really early in the morning, guys. My husband was asleep. Everyone is asleep. I woke up early to make this because I haven't done this for a long time, so I just thought I'll surprise my husband with it. So here it is, guys. So you just continue doing this until you fry everything up, and voila, you've got your koose, okay, your nice authentic Ghana koose. So with those of you who have tried koose before, let me know in the comment section below how you pair your koose, what you pair your koose with. For us, we're going to eat our koose with some nice, delicious homemade hawassa cocoa. Okay. If you want to know the recipe, I have a video on how to make the homemade hawassa cocoa, and I'll leave it towards the end of this video. So that's what we're gonna have ours with. We're gonna have ours with some cocoa. Okay, some people, I remember growing up, some people like to have their koose with bread, with, I think it's with sugar bread. So what they do is they section the sugar bread into two, and then they put in the koose in the middle and form like a sandwich with it. But I can't have it that way, guys, because I feel like it's too heavy. If I have my cozy that way, trust me, guys, I'll be knocked out. I'll be knocked out after eating, and I don't think I'll be able to finish my cocoa with it. So just the cozy and the cocoa is enough for me, okay? So there you have it, guys, my homemade Ghana koose. I really enjoyed making this recipe. I paired this up with my delicious homemade Ghana cocoa. If you would like to see that recipe, get to the end of the video and I'll leave a link to that recipe, okay? Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, don't forget to comment and share this video if you really enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Stay blessed, guys. I love you guys so much. Bye.